Joining us now on the phone are the co-owners of South LA Cafe in South LA, Celia Ward-Wallace and her husband, Joe. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Hey, Ryan.
So it's a couple things. At first we were talking to businesses and small business owners here in our communities in Southern California, in Los Angeles, that were trying to bridge the gap, making it through the economic turmoil and the difficulty of the pandemic. And so that's one thing that's going on. And you guys have been trying to pivot to keep everything operating through that. And then, of course, we've got what has been such a horrible story that came a week and a day ago out of Minneapolis. But then the goodness of peaceful protesters, and I know you're leaning into that as well. So tell us, Celia and Joe, a little bit about what's happening down where you are in your neighborhood and at the South LA Cafe.
All right. Well, we are natives of this area. We've lived here all our lives. I live here with my wife and kids. And what we basically, to go take it back a little bit, is we wanted to start, and create a safe gathering for all of our locals when we started this. And then, of course, COVID hit, and we dropped down about 50% in our sales and everything else. And we had to furlough people, and then we started to say, hey, well, how are we going to do this? So we pivoted to takeout, and then through our apps and things like that, you could either order through our Joe app or order at the door. And senior meals, and we launched our $35 LA grocery box. I mean, I could go on with things we're trying to do.
Yeah, we started to try to feed our community, and right now, it's not lost on us that our restaurant is at 1700 Browning Boulevard. It's South LA Cafe, but the literal intersection that people are familiar with is Martin Luther King Boulevard and Western Ave.
Which has a lot of history.
Which has a ton of history. This is the place of the 1992 LA uprising as a result of the acquittal of the police officers in the Rodney King beating. We're grateful so far. Our community has not, been rebelling here, although we are very much behind the protesters and we are very much behind the movement for Black Lives. But our space was specifically created to center on the Black and brown folks, primarily from the community, long-term residents, and create a safe place where they could be. And so even though we're limited now, we still are having people come every day, both to support us because we're family-owned and Black-owned business, but also because they know they can come and talk and be real and cry and share their feelings, and that we're a safe place where they don't need to feel like they're under threat.
And what kind of stories are you hearing? What are people in the neighborhood sharing with you when they come in?
Well, they're right now. Honestly, we're listening to people. They're coming in with a lot of anger. So I don't think that they have their grip yet. I mean, it's still shocking.
There's also a lot of people with grief. I mean, I've spoken with just yesterday 3 different grown African-American men came in, and literally all I did was say, how are you doing? Mm-hmm. And that question brought them to tears. Wow. And so I think that people are feeling heartbroken and confused and rightfully angry. And we also, we have multiple generations in our community, so we have the young ones and we have the middle-aged ones, and we have the elders who we love and respect so much and have seen so much, in their lifetime, moving through the Jim Crow era and the civil rights movement. And so we really turn to our elders as well as our...
And now my wife's crying.
As well as our, we have amazing community organizations, civil rights leaders who have done this work before us. And so we really try to make this space somewhere that people can come and get connected with those that history as well.
This is the South LA Cafe. Many of you are familiar with it. If you're not, it's there. You said the famous intersection. Really powerful, Western and MLK in South LA. Black-owned, family-owned, community-owned. And how can people lean into your business to help you survive everything that's happening now? What can people do?
We set up. We of course we have our website, www.southlacafe, that they can go to. They can become a monthly supporter to help us continue the outreach, the feeding of the groceries that we're giving to the community and parts of LA. They can buy a box of our grocery box or sponsor a box. And lastly, to keep up with what we're doing, because we're trying to do everything that we can, so they can follow us on Instagram at the South LA Cafe and at South LA Market.
Got it. Well, thank you both for coming on. We appreciate you taking the time to spend with us, and what you're doing there in the neighborhood is just great. Celia, Joe, you take care of yourselves, okay? Hopefully we'll send some people your way.
Yeah, thank you, man. And we love what you're doing, man. You're one of the good ones, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Y'all take care.
All right.
Okay. Bye,
Okay.
Ryan. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.